We'll take a moment now and flip to the elections that was just concluded in Rivers. With that, let's talk to the Resident Electoral Commissioner, Mr. Aniedi Ikoiwak. He joins us via phone this morning. Good morning, and thank you for joining us today. Well, already, not that it's the first time. Again, there are people bickering about the outcome of the elections that you conducted again. What happened about these elections?
Good morning.
Go ahead, please.
Yes, the election has been conducted and concluded. Hello?
Did you hear the complaints by the APC about the elections?
Well, if you are asking a question, this is, let us go this way. The election was a supplementary election to complete the rerun of the election that was held on the 10th of December in Eche local government. And that election was conducted on Saturday. And we had done all what was necessary in Eche. You must know that this election was election that was confined to the local government of Eche. And those who were supposed to be in Eche were those who were there, the returning officers, the collation officers, the EO of Eche, and so on. And they were there. From the beginning, they concluded the election by collating the elections into Form ECAD. At that level, the returning officer said he wanted to seek some legal clarification. And he called the headquarters. That was about 2 a.m. And we said the legal officer cannot travel to a chair now to give you what you wanted, a written legal position on supplementary elections. So what the man needed, because he had security, was to come to the headquarters. And I told the people that by 9 o'clock, he's going to make an announcement based on the legal position gotten from the legal officer. And in the morning, he was given the legal position that a supplementary election is treated as a runoff elections. In a runoff election, what is needed is a simple majority. So the issue of the issue of spreads, the issue of margin of votes does not come in a supplementary election. And he had that interpretation through the Constitution and Electoral Act, and he went ahead to make his declaration. What was done in Port Harcourt was just a declaration. And if you know the process of carrying out elections, collation stops, collation of results stops at Form ECAD, and that was done clearly at Eche. The declaration which is in Form ECAD is just to say, having satisfied the condition of the law, so person is hereby elected and is a winner. That is all what is written there. It has nothing to do with the video. It has nothing to do with names of parties and their scores. That had already been chronicled in Form ECAD at Eche. And what we should ask ourselves is, has there been any change from what was brought from Eche and what was declared? If there is need for Nigerians to look at things beyond what anybody says, when we criticize and we say this thing is not correct, I believe that we should be able to ask questions. If I had 10 in polling unit A and 10 is recorded, and when we come to the final stage, that 10 is still reflected, does that mean a change of figure? If it was 10 at the polling unit and I now come and say, look, I had 10 at the polling unit, you now give me 6. That is when you can now ask, or you can now blame the organizers of the election that, look, you have tampered with the process of this election. But if all what was taken from the polling units to the collation centers to the last form is the same, and I want the media to always investigate this. Start from the the polling unit, and then look at all what was brought. And if there is any difference, I think that is where you can now call the commission. It's not only when anybody says this is this, and we carry. We should do a little of investigation. What did we have at the chair? Did it change when the pronouncement was made? If the answer is yes, then the commission should be held responsible. But if the answer is no, then we should be satisfied that that was exactly what was taken from the field and that was what was declared. If the position is that there was margin of vote, we are saying that what we did was a supplementary elections. And if you look at all our releases, you will see that we said supplementary elections. And in supplementary elections, if you check the sections of the Constitution and electoral law, it is treated as a runoff election. And if you check a runoff election, it is stated that after the first election and nobody can meet the constitutional requirements, there must be a runoff, and that runoff is determined by simple majority. That is exactly what a supplementary elections in a parliamentary setting is all about.
There are concerns that go beyond that. As a matter of fact, the governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, did make comments saying that the people of Rivers State will resist any fraudulent manipulation of results for any elections, and particularly for this one that has just been concluded and the results have been announced. Now, the concern is that people want to know how credible, how transparent this process was. Were there situations, for instance, in Eche, where elections were doctored?
I cannot say that. I will tell you clearly that what Aniedi did was following the law and giving exactly what was in the field, irrespective of whatsoever anybody must have been involved. This election, we should be able to respect our offices. You will discover that I was not in a chair because the election did not concern the Resident Electoral Commissioner. The election was conducted by an EO, and I gave that EO all the rights to conduct his election because the law recognized him that he should conduct the election, and that was why I was not there. Even when I'm told that the governor came to the office, I was not there in the office. I had closed from the office and every other person. So if people decide to throw themselves on anything that they want, that is not. We will continue to do our work and we will do it exactly the way it's supposed to be done. And I want, when we criticize, we must look at, was this job done the way it was supposed to be done? Irrespective of whether on the road people were upset, whether on the road like it happened that day, whether we have over 50 staff in the hospital now beaten up and so on, and nobody is asking questions. But did we, even in that phase of that, did we do our work? The answer is yes. We kept faith with whatsoever happened and did our work.
Yeah, Mr. Aniedi, could you tell us, Parliament Button, were any of your members of staff or any ad hoc staff, was anybody harmed?
It is clear, hot. Did you say hot?
Yeah, was there anybody that was harmed?
I said about 50 of our staff from Friday have been in the hospital. Will you just walk to the hospital without what happened? This is an area that I thought Nigerians will focus. Because this time around, we have said we are not taking any ad-hoc staff to this election so that we will not be blamed on those people. We will take staff of the commission and we make sure that they go to the knobs and granny where elections are conducted. They were beaten up at the polling units. Some of them were beaten in their buses. When the buses arrived at the polling unit, the hoodlums and the committee, when the community came out and beat them up, collected not only the electoral material, their personal belongings were collected from them.
Could you tell us, what do you think should be done for those kind of situations to be avoided so we can have a violence-free elections subsequently?
It is for Nigerians to rise up against violence. It is for Nigerians, not when there are people killed. Other people will say, go and do election irrespective of what happened. We have said in Rivers State, this is the fourth time election has been conducted, and all the elections have chronicled what? Violence, killing, and so on. Where did have we ever asked as Nigerians that why is this thing happening? In election, the people will talk about security. Have they forgotten that the security at the polling unit is not armed? It is just like any other person. The only difference, the policeman at the polling unit and the ordinary person is only that he wears uniform. It's not armed. The man who comes to take over the polling unit comes with guns and sticks and knives. It's the situation.
All right, Mr. Aniedi, we appreciate your talking to us this morning. Thank you very much indeed.